Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us here today for our accepted student program. My name is David Butler. I'm part of the undergraduate admission staff here at Penn State University Park. First and foremost, just want to say congratulations to each and every one of you, class of 2025. That is awesome. It's been such a competitive year already, and you all should be very proud. It's such a great accomplishment and achievement. So congratulations to all of you. So a little bit of breakdown of what this event will look like here today. This will be a tour of campus where we're going to bring on three of our wonderful tour guides who are going to kind of walk us through our campus here at University Park. A little bit about this video. We will be going into some of the buildings, highlighting some of our feature facilities here on campus. The video will last about 25 minutes. And then we'll wrap it up with our tradition with our warm and fuzzies here at the very end. But again, we'll get started here and I will pass off to our first tour guide, Jada. Jada, it's all you.
Hello, everyone. Like David said, my name is Jada. I am a senior now studying public relations and communication arts and sciences. I'm originally from Pittsburgh, but I always say I'm so happy to be relocated in Happy Valley. So this building that we're looking at right here, as you can see, is called the Intramural Building, although most students fondly call it the IM Building. It is one of 4 major gym facilities that we have on campus, and it is the most newly renovated. So we are going to be able to step in here. You'll get to see a bit around the facility, and I'll explain more. So the IM Building is located in the top eastern part of campus. So you will see on the map, whenever we're moving from location to location, I'll be able to point out some of the other things that are around it. So right now we're inside of the IM Building. Over here in this back left corner is state-of-the-art facilities. We have all of the treadmills, the bikes, a whole weight set. All of those places there, as you can see, are open to the public right now, even though we are experiencing COVID. You do have to just select a time slot that you would like to go. You have to wear a mask while you're in the facility, but it's a really efficient system. I have a lot of friends that go pretty consistently that say that it works really well. As we're going down this hallway, you'll see we're passing rooms that say racquetball. So this place really has it all. I mean, you got racquetball rooms, you have basketball courts. You basically have anything that you could possibly want, especially as a student who's just trying to stay active on campus. As we pop around the corner here, we are going to see a bouldering wall, which I have never been brave enough to go up myself, but I know that I have friends that absolutely adore it. That is our indoor turf for indoor soccer and other sports. Like I said, I mean, every single part of this gym facility was just thought through so thoroughly. Anything you could possibly want, you have access to. And as a student, you actually don't have to pay any out-of-pocket fees for your gym membership. That is all included in your tuition. So all you have to do, show up, book your time slot, and swipe your ID, and you're in. As we're coming around here, you'll see volleyball courts that also has an indoor track that actually runs along the top. For myself, I'm a runner. I love the indoor track. While it's freezing cold in State College, I can get out of the cold for a little bit, not be running through the slush, and start running inside of IM. So the next thing I'd like to talk about are our 3 levels of sports that we have at Penn State. I'll talk about the lowest and most accessible level, which is IM. So IM sports are very casual. You get a group of friends and yourselves. You sign up for whatever sport you'd like. You can do soccer, you can do volleyball, you can do basically anything. And whenever you do that, you'll compete against other groups. It's very low competition, very easy to do. A lot of people do it with their roommates when they first come to school. I know I did soccer my freshman year and I do volleyball every spring. So much fun. The next level up, you'll have club sports, which is the equivalent to about a D2 level sport level. It is going to be much more competitive. You have to try out, you have to travel, compete against other schools, all of that jazz. And then obviously the top level is D1. I'm assuming if you're a D1 athlete, you probably already know, but just in case you didn't, we do have D1 sports that are our big: football, basketball, and things like that. So coming around this corner, you saw lockers. More lockers are here. We also just passed the check it out desk, which is where you can check out any equipment that you might need while you are staying in IM building. around the corner here is one of my favorite new features. This is the Shake Smart Station. So at Shake Smart, you can get all of the things necessary for your games, protein shakes, any of the protein bars, and things like that. Like I said, IM is fully stocked. So as we are headed out this way, we're going to curve around the corner. Like I said, we're at the top left part of campus, or top right part of campus. We are very far northeast. To the left there, that building that you just saw is the Shields building. So the Shields building is home to basically our student account, as I like to say. So you have admissions, you have the bursar, you have financial aid, anything that you might have questions about when it comes to your student account, you can go to Shields to find out about it. Or if you're a tour guide, that's normally where we leave for our tours. So if you get a chance to see campus in person and you have a tour guide friend that might want to show you around, they might take you out of Shields and then you'll head around campus like we are now. So as you can see, as we're coming down this way, there are bike racks to your right. That's actually a bus station right there. Super accessible, great way to travel, but we're going to travel by Shield right now. So that Shield just moved us from IM building a little bit farther down the road to the beginning of East Hall. So this right here is Martin Hall, which is one of our 15 residence halls that is in East. So I always like to explain, we do have 5 residential areas. East is just one of them, okay? So we have East, West, North, South, and then we ran out of cardinal directions and went with Pollock. Not sure why, but it fits us, and we love Pollock Halls. You'll actually get to see that later as well. So as we come around the corner here, you will see the outside of Martin Hall. Martin Hall is one of the 9 renovated dorm areas that we have within East. So 9 out of 15 of those res halls are fully renovated, which comes with a lot of extra bonuses. One of my favorite is the climate control. So it's not full on AC, but you are able to control that climate a little bit more, make sure that you're comfortable in your room without the building just setting it for you. So we have now stepped into Martin Hall. As you can see, it is just absolutely gorgeous. I always like to compare it to living in a hotel. Every time I'm giving tours in here, I feel like I'm about to step into some super important meeting in like a boardroom in some hotel somewhere. It is absolutely gorgeous. You see you have a kitchen down there that's fully equipped with appliances. All you have to do is obviously bring the food yourself. I know I have a lot of friends that used to have movie nights at like TVs like this, and they would cook pasta or they would go over there and make ramen, whatever it may be. But it's really nice to have access to a kitchen. In the dorms, we'll be able to see in a little bit, you have like a little mini kitchen set, but having access to that is great as well. So this here is a really great example of Penn State's accessibility and inclusion. So that is a foot washing station. One of the 5 pillars of Islam is having ritualistic prayer every day. And before they do that, they have to wash both their feet, their hands, their arms, and their face before they enter into prayer. So Penn State provided a station that we just saw, as well as a quiet room off to the side so that people could practice their religion. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Again, just an example of Penn State's inclusivity. So straight ahead here, we are looking into a laundry room. I know every college student's favorite part of their dorm. Every parent is like, wow, this is a great room. And every student is like, oh gosh, I have to learn how to do laundry. But this laundry room, as you can see, is fully stocked. I mean, multiple washers, multiple dryers. You won't be fighting with people over them very often unless you try to do it like every Sunday, because Sunday's a big laundry day at Penn State. But the way that we handle laundry is with a system that we have called Lion Cash. Lion Cash is on your student ID. It's basically like a gift card. You load money on, you can use it for that. So here we're looking at some practice rooms. This is one of my biggest jealousies, having a piano in a soundproof room. I would have spent so much time there when I was a freshman, but now it's available to you guys. So if any of you are musical theater majors, if any of you are in the College of Music, in arts and architecture, anything like that, you have access to those practice rooms, as well as just anyone who wants to practice, who wants to get some singing out. I don't know, who plays piano maybe when you were younger like I did. So as we're coming around here, this is usually an area that people really like to see. This is how the bathrooms look in Martin and in most renovated dorms. So as you can see, they are more private. It's not stall style, like where you have multiple in a row. You can close the door, have privacy, spend as long as you'd like in there. Although if you spend hours every morning showering, you might start to annoy your neighbors to your left or to your right. But it's really nice. That's how my bathrooms were my freshman year. I didn't have any issues with them. So now we are looking in one of the dorms. It is obviously very clean, very nice. I won't take any guesses at the gender of the person whose room this is because who knows, but you know, it's a pretty nice room. So this unit that you saw in the middle there, that is our micro fridge combination. And that's that little kitchen set that I said is in every dorm. So once again, our shield is going to take us to our next location, which is Pollock Commons. Normally we would hop on a bus or maybe even just walk down campus, but today we're traveling via shield. All right, so this is Pollock Commons. In every residential area, you are going to have a commons building. All right, so Pollock is for the Pollock housing area. Although as a student on campus, you can go to any of the commons on campus. Doesn't matter if you live there or if you live in East. I know for myself, my freshman year especially, I lived in South, but I really loved East for some of the food options that they had there that were unique to them. So I would trek up to East for the quesadillas in particular. But if there was a day that I knew there was going to be something really good over in West or really good in North, my friends and I would go for dinner there. So here we are in Pollock. Like I said, this is the Pollock Commons, but it has some extra special things that I'll point out. So we just saw Edge. Edge is like a little coffee shop. You can get smoothies, bagels, little sandwiches, like really good for on the go. You know, you don't have time to pop upstairs to the full dining area. So you just want to grab coffee and a smoothie. That's right there. We also just saw a market. So in every one of the commons, there is a market where you can get not only like little snacks and foods and stuff, but you can also get toiletries and such. So as a student, you can use both your meal plan or your Lion Cash or your just credit card in order to buy any of those things. So now we are upstairs. This is the buffet area of Pollock Commons. This is the upstairs, and they have everything. First of all, I love Pollock Commons. I just think it looks sleek, looks nice. But I mean, on any given day, they have a rotation of foods. You always have access to the menu online. So whenever you wake up in the morning, you're kind of groggy, waiting to go to class, just pop on, take a look at what's on the menu and head on over. As you can see, I mean, it's fully stocked. There are tables everywhere. You can go with your friends. You can go by yourself. You can go there to do work. And you have access to basically anything you want. There's buffet style, a la carte, grab and go, whatever you need as a student, you have here. Now I am going to pass it off to Jack, and he is going to take you guys into your next portion of the tour.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Jada. Did a great job there. So like Jada said, my name's Jack. I'm from outside of Philadelphia. I'm a junior at Penn State, and I'm a biology major. And I'm excited to give you guys your second part of your tour here. So this is Beaver Hall. We're looking at right here. This is also in Pollock Commons, like Jada or Pollock residence area, like Jada said. So Pollock Commons that we were just in, that would be your commons area. So you could go there and get food. That would be the closest for you. We're going to head in this building right here. Pollock actually is the third largest residence area on campus. They have about 2,700 students, and 2,000 of them are freshmen. So they have the second highest number of freshmen besides East. We're in Beaver Hall now, and this is super nice. This is the like knowledge area where you can go and learn. It's in the bottom floor of it. You can go down there, study with your friends, like just hang out. They have a nice kitchen, which is a communal kitchen for everybody to use. So Jada was saying, you know, you can go down there and like you can make cookies with somebody for your floor. You could just leave them out for anybody, or take them all and eat them in your room, whatever you want to do. They have that nice TV that you can use too. This is all really nice. It's all accessible for everybody that lives in Beaver Hall, so anybody can come down and use it, which is super nice, I think. Kind of get out of your dorm room and just, you know, change the scenery a little bit. So now we're on actually one of the residence floors in Beaver Hall. This is what the older style halls look like. Pollock's set up a little bit different just because it's not symmetrical down the middle. So you see the two beds there, and then you have two chairs, so that you share like kind of one big desk, but it's big enough that you each have your own space. You also get the micro fridge right there in Pollock, which is super nice. You have your closets as well. The beds in Pollock and also in all the older dorms aren't raised, or so they're not as high. So a lot of people will get bed raisers to put under them. That way you can like store stuff and make a little bit more room. You can also move the beds in Pollock, which is kind of nice if you wanted to rearrange the room a little bit. Most people have it set up that way just because it optimizes the space the best way. But this dorm's also super nice. And I know a lot of people that lived in Pollock and really loved it. So we're going to kind of move more central on campus here. We still are kind of more south. We're more towards the center of campus. We're going to talk about the Thomas building here. So the Thomas building, we're looking at it right now. That big brick building right there. It was actually named after one of our presidents, Job L. Thomas. And it's home to our Eberly College of Science, which is my home. Like I said, I'm a biology major. This building is really versatile, though. It's just filled with different classrooms. It actually has our largest lecture hall on campus, which we'll go check out later. And I'll talk about it a little more once we're inside of it. But this building is really great. There's classrooms you can go study, and that's what I really like to do. I'll go in there, find an empty room, and kind of just sit down and get some work done, which I think is really nice. Like I said, just like change of scenery, it makes it easier for me to do work at least. They have a wide variety of class sizes in here. So some of the rooms hold maybe like 25 kids. And then, like I said, we have our largest lecture hall, which holds 725. These lecture halls in front of us here hold like, I think around 150, 200 kids. So they're kind of middle sized. And then we're going to keep going down here and enter the biggest lecture hall, which is special because on walking tours, we actually don't go in it normally. So you guys kind of get a behind the scenes view here. In 100 Thomas, the biggest lecture hall, they have different classes in there, but they also hold like exams and things like that in there too at night. So they use the room for a lot of different things. People also can go in there and you can like use the projector and stuff, which is really cool because you'll see how big it is. So if you want to go in there and study, you might think that's like a little bit more fun because the screen's so big or anything. This video, I feel like doesn't even do the room justice. When I first walked in, I thought like, it was like the biggest room I've been in my whole life. It's so big, especially when it's filled with people too. Like normally there's people in every seat, there's people on the stairs, it's just packed full because they obviously put the biggest classes in this room because it's how it holds the most people. But it's just a crazy room and it's just something else to like walk in and just see how big it is. So now we're moving more towards like the middle of campus. So we're kind of just in the center now. We're going to move right to the Shield again. So this is the Hetzel Union Building Robinson Center. We just call it the Hub. That's what I'm going to call it for the rest of the tour, just because Hetzel Union Building Robinson Center is a lot to say. But kind of to our left here where that grass is, that's the Hub lawn. And I just want to point something out about that first. That's where we have our involvement fair. Penn State is a big school, and a lot of people are a little nervous about that when they come. And the way to make a big school feel small is to join clubs and everything like that. So the involvement fair is held in the fall and the spring. The one in the fall is the really big one. We have over 1,100 clubs here at Penn State. And basically it's like shopping for clubs you want to join. They set up tables in rows and you just walk up and down these rows and they have like trifold set up, different boards, and they're just yelling at you, join our club, join our club, join our club. I went my freshman year and I think I signed up for probably like 10 different things. Like obviously I wasn't going to join all of those. But you just write your name down on a list and they'll send you emails about whether you have to try out for it for like a sports club or something like that, or when your first meeting is, if it's just, an interest org. But that's something that I really recommend you go to because it's just a way to kind of start getting involved in Penn State and really make it feel like you're home. So we actually jumped to the other side, the other entrance of the Hub. So those windows right there is where the Hub lawn is. We came in through the other way. It's called the Pollock roadside entrance. I love sitting up here. These colored chairs are one of my favorite areas, just go and hang out and get some work done. It's comfy there. It's normally pretty quiet. There's the highest will love the Hub too, because you can go there and get some work done. But when you're walking through, you might see like a few of your friends and it's just kind of like a fun thing to do. You can study with your friends there. It is the hub of campus. It's a good name. It's a good name for it because, so many people are there all the time. People can go there and meet in between classes. There's tons of food that we're going to see downstairs. In a little while once we walk down there. But these tables are always filled with people, which is super nice. I just love and hanging out here, getting work done, anything. Like I said, the involvement fair is held in the Hub lawn. So above us here are different offices for all the different orgs on campus. It's also where the Thon office is held. Thon is our dance marathon here. It's the largest student-run philanthropy in the world. It's actually happening in 2 weekends, which is pretty exciting in February. But it's really fun. I'm a part of it. And I think it's just, a great thing to be a part of at Penn State because it just makes you feel like you're a big part of something bigger than yourself, which is something that I know a lot of Penn Staters really value. So we're going to kind of go down the stairs here. These are called the High School Musical stairs just because they look like people dance on them and stuff like that. They're kind of fun, but people just sit on them and eat their lunch and do their work and everything. So as we come down through here, you'll be able to see all the different food options we have. So Jada was talking about earlier how you can pay for food in the Commons with your meal points or your Lion Cash or just your credit card. You can use those here as well. They have tons of different options here. They have Chick-fil-A, Burger King, McAllister's, which is just kind of a deli option. They have Blue Burrito, which is similar to like Chipotle or Qdoba. They have like a grilled cheese place. They have everything you could ever want. This is the Paul Robeson Cultural Center. That's actually a center where they basically just hold events for different diversity things on campus. They have cultural enrichment events where basically you can go and learn about how different cultures practice religion through different, dances or performances and things like that. Speakers will come. So it's just a great resource for everyone at Penn State to use. You can also just go in there and just study. It's always really quiet in there. I like it in there too. It's just kind of cool. There's like a library and everything too. In the hub is also where we have the Center for Sexual and Gender Diversity, which is a great resource for students to use as well. So through those doors is where we were walking up earlier when I was talking about the hub lawn, just for a little bit of reference. We're going to head out through this way now. And there's also more food over here, kind of to our right there is where they have Panda Express, and there's also Sbarro. So there's just endless opportunities in the hub. We're going to make another jump here. And I'm going to pass it off to our next tour guide, Allie.
Hi everyone, my name is Allie. I am a senior here at Penn State studying digital print journalism with a minor in English, and I'm from Yardley, Pennsylvania, so I'm also part of that outside Philadelphia gang. So we're going to get started here walking up Petit Mall. So this is a big long stretch of grass and sidewalk. And it stretches all the way from the library here, all the way down to downtown State College. So right now we are looking at the Petit Paterno Library, but I'm going to talk about what's on either side of it first. So on the left, you have the Sparks Building, which is home to the Penn State College of Liberal Arts, and it's also home to Penn State Learning, which is our free on-campus tutoring service. You literally can schedule an appointment online, swipe your ID when you get there, and they'll tell you everything you need to know. And there's also the Burroughs Building on the other side, which is home to our English and foreign language departments. So soon we're going to be heading into the Petit Paterno Library. So I'll start telling you some cool stuff about that. So we have two sides to our library. You have the Petit side, which is what you're in right now. And this is our media commons where there are a lot of different computers. There's study rooms. We are a 50-50 Mac PC school. So whatever computer you might need, you'll be able to find it here. In the Knowledge Commons as well, there's something called a one-button studio where you can literally go in, press a button to record a video of yourself and then press that same button and it'll save to your Penn State account. I used it for a couple speeches I had to give and it was great. And there's also 3D printers back there. Any student can use them. And right now we're walking through a newer renovated part of the library where there are collaborative commons downstairs, as well as more study rooms. And this is kind of where we transition from being in the Petit library to the Paterno. But on this side, we also have these stacks, which are quite literally stacks and stacks of books. And that is always there for you to be able to go in. It is dead quiet to study in there. Like if you breathe the wrong way, people will look at you. But you'll be able to find any books that you're really looking for. And if you can't find it here, then we can reach out to any of our Commonwealth campuses and they can look in their libraries. And then if they don't have it, we also participate in Big Ten Library Share. So if your book isn't in one of the other two places, we'll reach out to Big Ten schools. And if it's not there, you should probably start writing because that means the book probably doesn't exist. On the Paterno side of the library, you also have the libraries of different colleges. Every college has their own library. And these are split up into the different floors. There's also a really nice Starbucks over there, which is my personal favorite part. So as you guys can see, the Shield just moved a little bit further west on campus, and we are coming up on one of my favorite parts of campus, which is the Nittany Lion Shrine. This was the class gift of 1940, and it is the second most photographed spot in the state of Pennsylvania, right behind the Liberty Bell. We like to tell you guys you can stop taking pictures of the Liberty Bell because it's not all it's cracked up to be. But the Nittany Lion Shrine has a lot of tradition behind it. A lot of people, they will take a picture on their first day of freshman year and then on their last day of senior year in their cap and gown to show how they've grown and how they've changed throughout their Penn State career. I know I'm a little sad that I did not do that my freshman year, but I certainly will be there taking pictures in my cap and gown. And the line on like graduation days and game days can be so long, it's like wrapped all the way around. So you guys can see that we have moved back to the east side of campus, and we will be stopping here at the Berkey Creamery. So the Penn State Creamery is one of the most famous spots on campus, and there are only 2 rules at the Creamery. You can get whatever color sprinkles you want, as long as they're blue and white, and you can't mix flavors. The only person to ever mix flavors at the Creamery was Bill Clinton. While he was president, he mixed Peachy Paterno and Cherry Quist, and rumor has it that it was that girl's first day working and that girl's last day working. And the reason that we don't let you mix flavors is because the students and staff work so hard to develop those flavors that they want you to be able to taste them all on their own. Thank you guys so much for coming on this tour today, and I'm going to pass it off to David.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Allie, Jada, and Jack. Wonderful job as always. We hope you all enjoyed that virtual video tour here of campus. So with that being said now, one thing we want to end on before we let you all go is we like to end on a tradition that we have for all of our tour guides, and that's our tour guides' warm and fuzzies. And our guides' warm and fuzzies are just their reasonings for why they decided to come to Penn State. So Jada, would you mind giving your warm and fuzzy, please?
Absolutely. So I think I mentioned it earlier, but I am from Pittsburgh, and back home, I am the youngest of 5 children. So for me, 2 of my older brothers both attended and graduated from Penn State University Park. So I can remember growing up, visiting State College, seeing football games and all of that stuff. And so in my head, Penn State was the standard. Growing up, people would say like, oh, where do you want to go to college? Where do you see yourself attending university? And they would tell me about the schools they were interested in. And I was like, hold on. You don't have your own ice cream shop? Like, you guys don't do a whiteout? I was like, this is crazy. I couldn't even imagine being somewhere that didn't have all of the things that I knew Penn State did. So when it was my turn to pick of the youngest of my siblings, I did what most younger siblings do. I looked at my siblings, how successful they had been in getting internships and getting jobs. And I decided I was going to roll the dice on Penn State. Obviously, it was such a great decision for me. I'm a tour guide. I love talking about Penn State. For me, it was about finding the right place where I knew I was going to thrive as a student, and I hope that's the case for you as well. So even if it's not Penn State, even if the ice cream didn't sell you and the amenities on campus weren't it for you, I just hope that you find a place that gets you as passionate as Penn State gets all of us.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing, Jada. Next, we'll go to Jack. Jack, would you mind sharing your warm and fuzzy, please?
Absolutely. So originally I also, I just wanted to go to like a small school. I wanted to swim in college. So I was just going to go down to the school in Tennessee. And I was pretty set on it after I visited, but it was kind of expensive. And my parents were kind of like, yo, like you have 2 siblings. Like, I don't know if that's going to work. I was like, that's okay. I understand. So like I said, I'm from outside of Philadelphia. So my parents were like, let's just go check out Penn State. It's a good distance. It's a great school. Just go give it a shot. And if you don't like it, we can leave throughout the tour, whatever. I was like, okay, let's go. So we get there, it was cold, rainy. I was not looking forward to it, but we pulled into Beaver Stadium, and just looking up at the stadium, I was like, that's crazy I get to call that my home stadium if I get to go here. That kind of got the ball rolling for me. And then just the rest of the tour was just like sold it, it kind of just put the stamp on the envelope and sent my application in for me. It was just crazy how much I loved it. You could just tell the school spirit that was there. That was something I was really looking forward to. Everyone was so happy. And that was also something I really wanted in college. It's called Happy Valley for a reason. It sounds cheesy to say, but it's true. And looking back, I'm so glad I went there. I don't regret it at all. I met Jada, Allie, and David, 3 great people who I'm really close with, and all my other friends. And I really wouldn't change it for the world. It's been the best 3 years of my life so far, and I'm sad that, next year's my last year, but I'm super glad I get to give tours and try to encourage other people to come here. But yeah, I'm super happy I ended up at Penn State.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Jack. And last but certainly not least, Allie, would you mind sharing your warm and fuzzy, please?
Of course. So I never had Penn State on my radar when I was looking at colleges. I knew what Penn State was. I've been living in Pennsylvania my entire life, but it just never crossed my mind. And I have an older brother, and he absolutely refused to look at Penn State. So my dad swore one of his kids would look at Penn State, and I'm the only other child, so that fell to me. But my parents brought me up here in the middle of summer. It was like 90 degrees outside. I was exhausted. I really didn't want to be there. And the school spirit was honestly a little overwhelming for me. I wasn't super big on school spirit. And it just sort of like hit me in the face, and I wasn't sure that Penn State was going to be the place for me. But then I met the people in the College of Communications, and quite literally everything changed. They were so kind and so welcoming, and they wanted to know literally everything about me, and they wanted to know what they could do to make Penn State my home. So I got home that day and I said, you know what, I might as well apply. There's no harm in trying. And I applied at 7 other schools, and I like to say I'm blessed and cursed because I got into all 8, but Penn State was just calling my name. And I came back up that February for my accepted students program, and I didn't think anyone was going to remember me. I figured they see a million people a year. How are they going to remember me? Walked into my College of Common info session, and they knew exactly who I was and were so excited that I was there. And I got home that night and I hit that accept button, and I haven't regretted anything ever since. I've met some of my best friends in the world. I have gotten to be a tour guide, which was one of my dreams coming to college. I have had a great internship. I've had breakfast with a 2-time Pulitzer Prize winner, and I have Penn State to thank for all of it.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing, Allie. Well, Jada, Jack, and Allie, thank you so much again for being with us here today to present such a wonderful tour to all of our future Penn Staters. You all are amazing, and I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys represent everything great about Penn State and so much more. So thank you so much. And once again, everyone, congratulations on your acceptance in the Penn State University Park, class of 2025. Again, such a great accomplishment during such a competitive year. We congratulate you again. We hope you all enjoyed this virtual tour here and session. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to us at admissions@psu.edu with any other questions you may have. With that being said, that does conclude our event for today. We hope to see you all here at Penn State University this fall or summer, and we'll see you all here soon. Thank you so much. We are.